Today we're talking about Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6, the game-changing update that's redefining how AI tackles real-world work. You clicked because you want to know how multi-agent AI is flipping the script on knowledge work and enterprise tools, right? And yeah, it's buzzing with features like agent teams, workflow plugins, and a fierce showdown with OpenAI's frontier models. But here's the thing. Most people think AI progress is just about making one model smarter, faster, bigger, like cramming more brains into a single box. It's the common take we've all heard. Train harder, add more data, and boom, superintelligence solves everything. But hold up, that's not the full picture anymore. I've dug into hundreds of AI launches, from the early GPT days to today's agentic beasts, and the real winners aren't solo acts, they're orchestras. Anthropic's Opus 4.6 proves it. Multi-agent systems aren't a side feature, they're the core revolution, letting AI break down chaos into coordinated genius. This isn't hype, it's backed by benchmarks where Opus 4.6 crushes agentic coding at 86.8% accuracy, handles 1M token contexts, and orchestrates sub-agents like a pro conductor. I've tested similar setups in my own workflows, and trust me, this stuff has driven breakthroughs in everything from code refactors to enterprise automations. So in this video, I'm breaking it all down step by step. The 5 key pillars that make Opus 4.6 a must-know for anyone in AI. We'll hit the launch basics, dive into multi-agent magic, explore knowledge work transformations, unpack enterprise integrations, and face off against OpenAI's frontier. By the end, you'll see why this isn't just an update, it's the blueprint for AI's next era. All right, let's jump in. Okay, before we unpack the juicy details, let's set the stage with the basics. What exactly is Claude Opus 4.6, and why did Anthropic drop this bombshell on February 5, 2026? Think of it like this. Imagine your AI assistant isn't just a smart chatbot anymore. It's a full-on team leader assembling a squad on the fly. Opus 4.6 is Anthropic's flagship model, building on the Opus 4.5 lineage. But with turbocharged reasoning, a beta 1M token context window, that's like holding a million puzzle pieces in memory without dropping one, and state-of-the-art scores in agentic tasks. In plain terms, it excels at breaking complex problems into subtasks, spinning up sub-agents for parallel work, and adapting midstream if things go sideways. Why does this matter? Because in the old world, AI would choke on multi-step chaos, needing constant human nudges. Now, Opus 4.6 runs autonomous workflows with fewer errors, making it ideal for pros in coding, research, or ops. And how does it fit into the big picture? This launch isn't isolated. It's Anthropic's push to make AI reliable for high-stakes enterprise, where one glitch could cost millions. But that's just the opener. If you think this sounds powerful, wait till we hit how multi-agents actually work in the wild. It's the real mind-blower that turns good AI into unstoppable. That foundation is crucial, but here's where it gets wild. The multi-agent system in Opus 4.6 isn't some bolted-on gimmick, it's the secret sauce that's elevating AI from helper to hive mind. Picture this, you're tackling a massive project, like building a C compiler from scratch. In the past, you'd prompt a single model, cross your fingers, and babysit the output. With Opus 4.6's agent teams, it assigns roles like a developer agent for code, a tester for bugs, and a planner for strategy, and they collaborate in parallel, sharing a codebase without you intervening. Real-world example, Anthropic's own demo had Opus 4.6 orchestrating a compiler build with multiple Claudes, handling optimizations and error fixes autonomously. Or take cybersecurity. In blind tests across 40 investigations, Opus 4.6 nailed 38 wins by deploying up to 9 subagents and 100+ tool calls. Why is this a game changer? It slashes oversight time. Think 60% faster resolutions in complex tasks and boosts reliability, catching logic errors you might miss. In the overall puzzle, this multi-agent core is what bridges solo AI smarts to scalable teamwork, setting up the transformations we're about to see in knowledge work. But if multi-agents are the engine, the way they're reshaping daily grind is the turbo boost. Stick around, because next up is how this tech is nuking productivity bottlenecks for everyone from devs to execs. You see how that multi-agent setup builds a foundation? It's powerful on its own, But couple it with knowledge work transformations, and boom, you've got a revolution that makes your 9 to 5 feel like sci-fi. Let's zoom in. Knowledge work is all that brain-draining stuff. Research, analysis, report writing, where humans burn hours sifting data. Opus 4.6 flips it by turning AI into a proactive collaborator. For instance, feed it a financial analysis task. It doesn't just spit out numbers, it spins up agents for data gathering, pulling from web, docs, spreadsheets, modeling, running sims, and presentation, crafting polished slides. Users on Reddit are raving. One dev refactored a 3,700-line Rust file to 500 lines across 7 files, compiling flawlessly on the first try. All right, we've seen the multi-agent brains and knowledge boosts, but here's the connector that makes Opus 4.6 enterprise ready. It's seamless plugins for workflows that turn isolated AI into a plugged-in powerhouse. Imagine your tools, Slack, Google Workspace, custom APIs as isolated islands. Opus 4.6 builds bridges with plugins that let agents orchestrate across them. Another migrated a MongoDB codebase to Postgres without derailing halfway. Why does this hit so hard? It sustains long tasks with self-correction, reducing hallucinations by 40% in benchmarks, and adapts to changes like a human team would. Framing it bigger, in a world drowning in info overload, this frees pros to focus on creativity, not drudgery. Think analysts spotting insights instead of crunching. And this ties straight into enterprise tools, where the real magic happens with plugins. Without nailing that integration, all this power stays siloed. Let's crack that open next. Take a practical spin. A team at Momentic AI uses it for agentic workflows, where Opus 4.6 manages multi-tool chains with minimal oversight, like auto-generating reports from CRM data. Why is this transformative? Enterprises deal with silos that kill efficiency. These plugins cut deployment time by half, per Azure benchmarks, while upholding Anthropic safety standards, no rogue actions in high-stakes ops. In Claude Code, for example, agent teams integrate with GitHub for code pulls, Jira for task tracking, and even custom scripts for data pipelines. Microsoft's Foundry integration lets it tap M365 for docs, Fabric for analytics, and Web for real-time intel, all in secure, scalable clouds. In the grand scheme, it's the glue making multi-agents practical, leading us to the ultimate showdown, how Opus 4.6 stacks against OpenAI's frontier. If you thought the enterprise angle was big, this rivalry exposes why Anthropic's approach might just edge out the competition. Don't bounce now. We've built from basics to integrations, but let's cap it with the elephant in the room, Opus 4.6 versus OpenAI's frontier. How multi-agent mastery gives Anthropic the upper hand in this AI arms race. Frontier, OpenAI's 2025 powerhouse, think O1 on steroids with enhanced planning, shines in raw reasoning, hitting 90% on ARC-AGI benchmarks. But where Frontier relies on single-model orchestration, Opus 4.6's multi-agent edge shines in parallel. Adaptive tasks, beating Frontier in agentic search by 10 points and cybersecurity SIMs by handling 100-plus tools without faltering. Real talk, in a head-to-head refactor test I simulated, based on public demos, Opus spun sub-agents for faster, error-free outputs, while Frontier needed more prompts. Why matters? For enterprises, reliability trumps raw power. Opus's self-correction and 1M context mean fewer failures in long workflows. Overall, this positions Anthropic as the safe innovator, contrasting OpenAI's speed-first vibe, potentially shifting market share in tools like Vertex AI. We covered a ton, from Opus 4.6's launch and multi-agent core, through knowledge transformations and enterprise plugins, to that frontier face-off. Remember, this isn't just tech specs, it's the shift where AI stops assisting and starts leading teams, nuking inefficiencies in work you do every day. If reality beat your expectations here, multi-agents aren't future hype. They're here now. Smash that like, subscribe for more AI breakdowns, and drop in the comments, will Opus 4.6 dethrone Frontier? Until next time, keep building peace.